what you are around, what you are immersed in, are people who they gave everything. They are people who believed in a cause, and it's one thing to go to a lecture or to go to a park or to go to a rally, and there are people willing to hold hands and stand in defiance of the power structure. Is a politician in a building will sit at a desk and argue what the outcome is going to be, and those people are truly committed, and I love that. But how many people have you actually spent time with, talking with, traveling with, breaking bread with, suffering with, who were so committed to what they believed in that they were willing to put their life on the line and actually add and talked about it. In fact, they'd done it so much and with such conviction that they didn't want to talk about it. The energy that you get from being around people like that is incredible. But more importantly, when you are with somebody who believes in somebody else so much that they're willing to die for that person, and not because of what that person can give them, like some big celebrity or movie star or something like that, but they are dedicated to someone for all the reasons. It's anonymous, and there's not their family member, there's not their kids or their mama or their daddy or their wife. These are people from different walks of life than their own. These are people with different philosophies than their own. These are people with different religious beliefs than their own, and yet they're willing to die for them. And why? Because that person was willing to die for them also in return. It's called loyalty. Most of the time you find in life, loyalty is a one-way street. You're loyal to your government, rarely is it loyal to you. You're loyal in school, almost never is loyal to you. Now here's a place where like-minded people with the same goal, and that is freedom, but with no other financial or educational or resources available to them to take part in it other than to risk their life and put it all on the line for something they believe in. Well, I really can't think of anybody else I'd rather spend the day with. I've lost a number of very good friends to a cause our government said had to be done. This war in Iraq and other things. And you can't help but miss them. And what it was they stood for. Not too many people stand for anything anymore. And even when they do stand for it, they don't really do much about it. Not much action. But probably the worst thing to see is that when these people stood for something and gave everything they had, in this case it's their life, and in the right recovery people, and these folks, it was their limbs, and their health, and their brain, and their spirit, and now they are condemned to spend the rest of their life in a body that no longer works. And they begin to come to find out that commitment that they thought had a strong sense of honor and dignity, the government turns a blind eye to and throws them into the pile of broken parts and won't take care of them. And you watch how that changes how they feel. Most of them, the greatest injury they came back from the war with is a broken heart. So, writing with them on Right to Recovery allows them to remember what really mattered or matters most to them, and that is being together. And you get them out of these beds, and you get them into custom-made bicycles that is designed to allow them to function again like a moving person. And they thought they'd never be able to do that ever again, and to now do it together, camaraderie, which is to me one of the greatest things that the human race has to offer anyone is camaraderie, the sharing, if you will. And they're able to re-enter society again, which they thought had forsaken them and did not care about them. And to watch that change from being at the lowest point in your life, many of which want to end life, and to make room for the possibility that they do matter, and that their sacrifices are appreciated, and to watch that light come back on, that fire, that passion that they had before. Well, again, what else is there to